Good day, this is Greg the Window Doctor coming to you again with hopefully helpful advice. Last week we introduced a new concept. Instead of windows or doors, we actually started talking about siding. And I'm talking about siding because I believe in energy efficiency. We talked about the kind of typical wood that you may have in your house and what we try to cover it with. Now vinyl siding is a product that's been around for a long time. And as we said last week, we don't want to use a recycled vinyl siding. We want to use one that's pure vinyl, and one that's going to be somewhere around 40 to 45 mils thick. And it comes in a variety of different styles. Now this is Dutch lap. It kind of has a small curve here as compared to a straight lap type design, which a lot of people are familiar with. And in this particular product, there's no insulation attached to the siding itself. Now that doesn't mean we don't have insulation on the house. Typically they're going to use a 1/4 inch or 3/4 inch polystyrene sheets that will lay on your existing wood. After the rotted wood's been cut out and replaced with new wood, they put the insulation, and then this kind of material vinyl would be put on top of it. And the nice thing about vinyl is that it's a permanent product. Now one of the things we want is a product that's not only beautiful, but that has a variety of different colors. And in this particular material here, you can see that there's a lot of lighter colors and a lot of darker colors. And the darker colors are more earth tone. They're not really, really dark. You don't see dark brown, dark green, dark red. And you may ask yourself, well, why is that? Well, again, remember, we're in Texas. And all those dyes and colors have an interaction with ultraviolet light. And over a period of time, that ultraviolet light's going to do what? It's going to cause those really dark colors that have a lot more dyes to fade. And once they begin to fade, the question is, you may have different sides of your house that has more direct sunlight than others, so you don't have a uniformity fading. You have some sides of the house are going to be a lot lighter and some sides are going to be a lot darker. I don't know about you, but having a house that's a zebra kind of striped in colors probably isn't the best choice. So if we can go with a lighter colors, we have less chemicals and less dyes in it, we're going to have less chance of fading and having less problems in that area. So anyway, this would be a very economical product. Mill Creek, 45 mil thick with a insulation attached behind would be obviously a great choice. Now another choice that we have, and this is our EPS, which we call our structured siding. And you might say, well, looks pretty much the same to me as what we just looked at. And what does look familiar is the fact that this is Dutch lap and it has the same design. One of the biggest differences is that it has insulation in the shape of the siding attached to the siding itself. Now you may say, well, what's the difference? If you have flat insulation behind it or this insulation behind it, both of them provide insulating value, don't they? Well, of course they do. But the question is, do you want a siding that is hollow in behind the siding to where the siding actually flexes, you know, where if you push on it, it's going to push in, and maybe more susceptible to hail damage? Or do you want one that the insulations conform to the shape of the siding, which makes it very rigid and makes it about 300 times more hail resistant? I don't know about you, but we do live in an area that has a lot of hail. So, and the very fact that it conforms to the size and shape of the siding actually allows us to put more insulation behind the siding than the other panels, so it actually increases the energy efficiency of it. And again, as you can see in this particular panel, it actually has more color samples available to us. It actually does come in some of the few darker colors here, like a red or I think. Now you may ask yourself, how is this particular panel able to control that ultraviolet light that we talked about? Well, there is titanium dioxide is an ingredient that they add. It's kind of like the sunscreen that you put on yourself when you go down to the beach. And my son's a redhead. You know, we had to put so much on him, you know, he looked white, covered in a white film all the time because you had to use 50 or above just to keep him protected. Well, this titanium dioxide is somewhat expensive. But what they've done is found a way to put this titanium dioxide so it's in the top third piece of this panel rather than on the back that doesn't get any exposure. So they maximize the use of this titanium dioxide to filter out the ultraviolet light, so they're actually able, you know, to use some of the darker colors. that they have. This is a great product. This is a product that would last a lifetime and add tremendous value to your home. Thank you. And again, this is the Window Doctor signing off.